The legal battle between Nandipha Magudumana and 5 respondents will take place in the Bloemfontein High Court this morning. Magudumana wants the court to declare her arrest unlawful, setting aside all criminal proceedings against her.
The 34-year-old was arrested in Tanzania in April alongside her alleged lover, convicted murderer Thabo Bester. Newzroom Afrika's Mnisi is live for us outside court this morning. Linda, the NPA, as we know, has already indicated it will oppose this application. Tell us why.
Well, the NPA, Michelle, believes that this application has no merit and therefore they'll be opposing it, issuing out that statement late yesterday when, of course, those papers were filed on a Friday. Some legal analysts telling us, Michelle, that in fact they had expected that the NPA would come out on Monday. Therefore, quite disappointed really that they would come out just on the eve of that application to tell us that they will be opposing it. But it's quite important because they're listed as one of the respondents. In fact, the first respondents, because you'll remember the criminal proceedings that Dr. Nandipha Magudumana is currently facing are, of course, in the hands of the National Prosecuting Authority, or the NPA, for example, rather. So, her challenge basically is that should that arrest be nullified or declared unlawful, all those criminal proceedings will be affected. But you'll also remember that she speaks a lot about her arrest in Tanzania. And one of the things that she questions is around, the court order that was issued, the warrant of arrest that was issued, which would have to come, of course, from a court, therefore, dealing with issues that the NPA would have to touch on. So it will be interesting hearing what their submissions are based on, what Dr. Nandipha Magudumana has alleged. Will they be coming forth with that warrant of arrest or any court order that they may be in possession of? Because one of Dr. Nandipha Magudumana's biggest challenges is that she wants papers that, were involved or that were used to get her to return to South Africa.
Linda, the application, as we know, is being brought by Nandipha Magudumana on an urgent basis. I suppose that'll be one of the big questions this morning. Will it pass the test?
The first hurdle, in fact, Michelle, that she has to pass before this matter will be heard, before getting into the merits, one of the things that she has to convince this court is whether this application is urgent and what the prejudice will be if it is not heard urgently. Essentially, she wants to skip the queue and the legal requirements that one would need to meet first before, of course, this matter is heard urgently. One of those is around the issue of whether there's no other course for her. Is this the only option that she has, at this very moment? We would remember that she's been postponing her bail, reserving her right to apply for bail. Why not go for bail? Other, legal analysts ask. Why choose to come for, an urgent application? But if you read the papers, some people feel that they fell short on really convincing the court that, it's urgent. This matter is urgent. Others feeling perhaps she'll want to supplement her affidavit during these proceedings. I spoke to legal analyst Mpumelelo Zigalala, and this is what he had to say, Michelle.
I think it may be that's a cause for complaint in terms of saying you did not follow proper procedure when it comes to these particular matters. But you must be careful when you identify your cause of complaint and where the problem actually started, because you haven't heard from Tanzania. Tanzania may come in and say, we were simply dealing with someone who did not have the proper permits. We attended to them in line with our Tanzanian laws, which basically say if a person does not have papers to where it's supposed to be in Tanzania, they must be deported back to their country. So in fact, for a much more simpler term and understanding, you were ejected out of the country. You're not deported. We are saying we do not want you, go away. In line with the principles in which we would use in our country, your country is allowed to come and fetch you. So the term or the phrase where they would say to her, Dr. Nandipha Magudumana, you are now arrested. If it is said in South African soils, then you can say the arrest was properly executed. If you say you are under arrest in Tanzania, there's another story. But again, it does not change the merits of the case and whether you are guilty or not and whether you still have to come and answer in South Africa.
Well, there you have it, and all of that unfolding in the Bloemfontein High Court. Linda Mnisi, you'll keep us up to speed as the case unfolds.